Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're taking a look here at Alcx, which I think is referred to as Alchemix. Alchemix is a request from my community members here, and I wanted to go ahead and review this for you. So thank you so much for requesting that I cover this here, Tony. I really do appreciate you. You actually make a lot of requests, but they are cool coins that I've never checked out before, and this looks like it's interesting, of course. Now, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, of course, by any means, I just have a Signal community. Check that out in your own time, of course. We've got a really cool trading community available through my Patreon account. So link in the description below. Check that out in your own time. Now, moving forward here to Alcx. Let's look at Bitcoin first just to get a quick baseline of the market so we know exactly what's going on. And the reason why we look at Bitcoin, of course, is just because you need to know what Bitcoin's doing in order to be successful with altcoins, right? So for lack of better terms, you should never invest in altcoin without looking at Bitcoin first. That is the foundation of what I teach all of my patrons, and it serves me very well. I average about 85% success rate based on that sentiment alone, okay? Now, half the time I'm trading Bitcoin, but that's besides the point, right? This is important to know. All right, so taking a look here. Whoa, sorry, zoomed in a little too far. We got a support channel here between 53,800 and 56,000. Price dipped all the way down to 53.8, bounced, came back up, closing right at 56,000 even. So that is just reaffirming the fact that 56,000 is a good support level. We should likely see that hold moving forward based on that sentiment alone here. So I think a long position to the upside is pretty likely here in the near future. So heads up, patrons, we're going to probably go jump in right around 56,000. That being said, Bitcoin's in great shape. Important to note that moving forward, okay? Also, well above both moving averages, not even relevant at this point. Okay, moving on to ACLX. Now, to the best of my knowledge, this is an ICO date of March 30th. I couldn't find any other trading data, at least not on TradingView, so comment below if that's different, but based on its ICO date, it did very well from the get-go, right? Opened up somewhere in the range of 1478, and then of course it does what things normally do after suffering the Bitcoin sell-offs, right? So we got April 17th right here, April 22nd, and then every other altcoin did the same performance here. It recovered because Bitcoin bounced back, altcoins came back, and then they got hammered back down again from Elon candle, China candle, and then of course that just continuation down to 30,000 for Bitcoin. That caused things to go kind of south. So this has a very similar movement to ICP, Internet Computer, if you've seen that before, where it started off very, very high. Everything would have been just fine if it wasn't for those major sell-offs, and now it just looks like it's a worthless coin. This isn't the case. I think that we have tons of value here, and there's definitely good opportunities, especially the fact, imagine if it came back just to say, come to its open, right? 1469. 353 and a 1469, we're looking at about 4 to 5x, right? That's pretty awesome. So I think it's probably worth investing. Maybe just buy one coin worth 350 right now and see where it goes. And I know it sounds like gambling because it pretty much is, and that's not how I like to do things. But generally speaking, coins like this make you want to do that, right? So let's make sure we confirm that purpose, okay? So let's just make sure. So we're above the 50-day simple moving average. Fantastic news. That's a great sign. We did get stopped out here today so far. This candlestick's only 2 hours old, but it looks like the price got rejected and it's kind of stunned out right around this point here at about 351. We'll see what's going on here on the shorter time frame. Price is back above 50 on the RSI. I love to see that. I like that it didn't break 70 though. This is good. If we can just get some consolidation, have the price go sideways here down to maybe 60 for the RSI and then leg back up again, that'd be awesome. That way we can have a healthy bull run instead of this parabolic nonsense that typically gets stopped out regardless, okay? So that's looking good there. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the volume. Sharp, somewhat of an increase in volume, not a ton, but definitely something there. Let's take a quick understanding here as well where the most volume is. It is right around that price point. So where the price is at right now, we've seen the most amount of volume. Therefore, wouldn't it be safe to presume that this might be a good strong support level, considering the fact that we have a lot of volume right here at this point? You could also have the same argument of this being a potential resistance, right? So that's why we want to wait to usually for the one-day candlestick to close to see what's going on. This candlestick did close above that line. That's a great sign, right? Therefore, I think we're in pretty good shape overall to consider this level right around 340 as a potential support level, okay? And I'm a big believer in volume, right? So you got to look at volume and understand what things are doing. It speaks volumes, for lack of better terms, because it's the most underrated trading tool that people use. Most people overlook it completely. That's why I'm a big fan of the volume weighted average price on the 15 or the 1 minute chart, because it just really helps you understand that support and resistance levels, right? Because the average volume really just helps us know a lot. Therefore, I like the price where it's at. I think that we can consider that a support level, even though we have this candlestick like this here, that is referred to as an inverted hammer. It is a doji, but it's still not close yet, right? This candlestick just opened 2 hours ago, so we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and forget about that for now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart and see. So this is fairly healthy. Keep in mind this is a bit on the overextended side, but you can kind of see a good pattern, right? Up, over, up, over. So hopefully we get, maybe 2 or 3 more candlesticks before we get the next leg up. That would be healthy. That would be awesome. We'd like to see that. RSI is over 70 on the 4-hour. That's pretty standard for this scenario here. Oftentimes you'll see 70 work as a support level. So hypothetically, the price continues to go sideways and increase. We might see it kind of, bounce and kind of do one of those. But naturally, the RSI is a really cool indication of, support and resistance level. 50, 70, and 30 are all support and resistance zones. So we're in the upper zone here right now. The overextended zone, still very healthy considering its history. We did have a MACD convergence here on the, 11th at 2100. So let's go ahead and mark that here, just so we know what that looks like on the cloud. As this guy right here basically told us that we had a shift in momentum. In other words, the bears were conceding and the bulls took full control. That's what that basically means. So in other words, the volume from the bears is receding and the volume from the bulls is kind of converging, so to speak. So that's a convergence in the MACD where the 12 intersects with the 26 in upward fashion. So if we go ahead and take a look at the 1-hour chart and see where the EMA, the Ishimoku cloud is telling us, we can see a lot here. So if you're new to the channel or just trading in general, the Ishimoku cloud is probably one of the second best indicators you can use as a swing trader. In other words, when the price breaks above the cloud, it's considered a buy signal. It's below, it's considered a sell signal, right? So if you kind of just look at the history here, every time it's broken above the cloud, for the most part, it's continued to progress upwards until it breaks into the cloud and the chart starts to go down. So we have this price break above the cloud, but what's super cool about this is a simple fact that the 4-hour chart, the MACD convergence, told us we had a bullish convergence, right? We've got a 1-hour chart here telling us we have a break above the cloud, right? So let's take a closer look at that. It's probably easier to see without that really large candle. Right here would have been an awesome entry point. Now again, hindsight's 2020. I get that. I'm sure you can probably look at this and say, oh yeah, easy to see right now, which is so true. But the bottom line is, this doesn't lie. The charts don't lie. Every time you have a MACD convergence and you have an Ishimoku cloud, you see some type of awesome breakout. Okay, so if you're going to set yourself some indicators, set an indicator, right? Go ahead and go to your alerts. Go ahead and add Ishimoku cloud here, right? You go Ishimoku, lagging span, or correction, lead 1, and you're going to go ahead and mark it only once when it's crossing up. You create that indication. The next time it breaks above the cloud, you're going to get a notification. You confirm the MACD 4-hour chart. If we got a convergence there as well, we're looking very, very good. Okay, so just the bottom line here is that these are really cool little things to kind of know and understand, and these are things I always use in my trading community too. So again, check that out in your own time, of course, but I send out signals based on every type of alerts that I get like this, and they're starting to pop off here right now. The really cool thing though is the fact that we average as a community about 85% success rate, and I actually have a bot that you can one-click follow, and it's just fully automated for my members. So cool stuff. Check that out, of course. But regardless, this coin is definitely looking good in the sense that as long as we see a period of consolidation, we'll probably see it continue to the upside. And I can tell you that $350 is a pretty decent steal, all things considered, depending on, if you kind of think about how much higher it could go, right? So we're looking pretty good. Now, bear in mind too, if we look at this, let's take one last little quick peek at the at this guy here. Okay, so for this run, I would say in the next month, we're expecting the price to probably come upwards about 700. Okay. Now, when it comes to support and resistance levels, I forgot to mark this. Let's go ahead and mark right around here with the volume. And coincidentally, look at that. That's the almost exact same place that the volume was telling us that we have a support level. So we got this guy right here. Let's go ahead and mark that for you, just so we know. Okay. So just understand 342 plus or minus a couple of dollars, 340 even, is a strong support level. So if the price were to try to retrace, it'll probably bounce off of that and continue to the upside. And I would say the next major resistance, let's go ahead and mark that as well, would obviously be about 491, or 490 is a round number. I mean, you could also say there's a secondary resistance here too. I try not to get too complex on you, but this is still valid. So taking a look at this here as well, 365 I guess would be the most recent major resistance. But that'll be a nice little resistance channel. If we can break through that, then it would be probably, you know, I wouldn't say to the moon per se, but I would say that'd be the road or the path to 700. Okay, so all in all, really good stuff. So if you haven't already, you know, like and subscribe, really appreciate that. Bell notification too, so you get notifications on all the updates. I send out multiple videos a day, so you can get kind of stay abreast and make more informed decisions. My goal is to help you become a better, more effective trader. So I look forward to seeing you on my Patreon community. If not, that's okay too. We'll see you in the next video regardless. Comment below if you have any insight on this coin here. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you.